Welcome into Fantasy Pros MLB. This, my friends, is Leading Off Live, brought to you by PrizePicks. Sign up for PrizePicks today with the promo code Leading Off. When you do, it's me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia. That, of course, is the Welsh whose hair looks magnificent today. I already told him. And it's all of you. It's the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. And today, boys and girls, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be yesterday was, in essence, the perfect show. You know, sometimes you have this in baseball where you have the perfect show where everything, all the universe, all the stars, everything aligns all at one time. And we had that yesterday on the program. In the middle of the program, we willed the call up of Elly De La Cruz. Literally minutes later, Elly De La Cruz got called up. We discussed how Alek Manoah was going to get sent down. Not only did he get sent down, he got sent down to Little League. I think the AAU team was full, so they had to put him in the Florida Coast League.
Also, to add to that,
yeah,
I threw in that there's no way that he just gets optioned. Like you're like, he can get optioned. I'm like, nah, I don't think.
Not only did he get optioned, he got the hell optioned out of him, Alek Manoah, yesterday. We also had the career high 13 strikeouts for the ladder bet of Kevin Gausman I talked about on the show yesterday. Kevin Gausman was my two prize picks, and Shohei Ohtani was the other one. He hit a home run.
I was 3-0 in my betting. I want to point out I was 3-0. You were 3-0 in betting and hit my strikeout parlay.
I got my White Sox upset on the money line. Yeah. I got Kevin Gausman in DFS. Kevin Gausman ladder bet. Kevin Gausman prize pick. Ohtani home run call. I've got 3 home runs, Welsh, in the last 2 days.
Oh.
Welsh, yesterday was a good day. Today is going to be a good day too. And of course, it's a sad day as well. As much as we're happy about Elly De La Cruz, and we're going to talk about that debut, we also have to talk about Jacob DeGrom too. I'd like to put a poll up here because I promised that I would sing a Sarah McLachlan song when Tommy John surgery did happen for Jacob DeGrom. And I'm not reveling in this. Like, I'm sad. He's sad. It was a very emotional press conference yesterday for Jacob DeGrom. Jacob DeGrom was in tears. He feels terrible. What he loves to do is being taken away from him. He's already had one Tommy John surgery. But Welsh, to the point of, he is getting paid $185 million, so that cushions the blow.
So are you saying you want him to wipe his tears with $100 bills?
Like, 100? How about $1,000?
Just rolling out.
I love this show. I told Welsh before the show. I love this show. I love what I do. I love talking football. I love talking baseball. I love being with the people here on the shows. I love fantasy world. I love all that. If you told me here's $185 million, you could never do it again, I'd say, well, I had a good run. I'll find a hobby. Okay. I will figure things out.
I mean, I think you probably need to get a little bit more relative money. Like, sure, I would tell you all to kick rocks and never speak to any of you again for $180 million. And you could remember my memory, but like more relative, like, how about like $20,000?
No.
Let's say that's more relative.
No, it would have to be at least $1 million walk away from me, at least.
Well, think about also like if it's $180 million, get your yearly salary, times that times 5, and say you can never do this again.
No, I need more. Okay, I need more.
You're very greedy.
I am very greedy. But I also love this. So that's what I'm saying. And
well, that's what he needs. Maybe he needed more money. Maybe 185 is your 5 times your salary. So he's crying. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make more. I'm going to miss my money, and he can't leave it. So perspective, Joe. That's what this show's all about.
You here before we get into the positive stuff here. Let's just hit DeGrom up at the top here at the beginning.
Because what is there to hit up? Because it's
this is what's to hit up. This is what's hit up. The community at large failed most people this year. The baseball community of analysts who ranked Jacob DeGrom and drafted Jacob DeGrom as SP5 overall.
Well, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I didn't have him at 5, but I was one.
He was at 5 in the consensus, which means enough people put him at 5. I had him at 20 and people yelled at me. And my purpose was there's 20 guys I can theoretically say to myself, realistically say to myself, all of these 20 guys I like better than Jacob DeGrom, that I think are going to pitch more than Jacob DeGrom. And I get the whole quality versus quantity argument. I understood that, but the risk was so great for a player who had not made a lot of starts in the last 3 years, who we knew was on the precipice of another injury, and I keep coming back to this point because I think it's so important. The Mets offer was clearly ceremonial. They gave him a crappy offer ceremonial because he had been a good soldier for the organization and a great Met and a great pitcher. He had been a superlative pitcher. And no other team in Major League Baseball except the Texas Rangers come after you. That tells you something is wrong. And that tells you Welsh, everybody wants to win. All these teams have money to spend. Jacob DeGrom, the best pitcher in baseball, is on the market, and only the Texas Rangers come after you. That was the biggest red flag ever. And I think the community at large failed everybody. This show did not fail everybody. Fantasy Pros, MLB did not fail everybody. But I think the community at large, all they wanted to see was the positive. And I think that is really a failure at every level, because you're trying to help people win fantasy leagues. And at the end of the day, it doesn't help people win fantasy leagues when you say, yeah, that's a top 5 pitcher, because it's a bad evaluation based on the data you have. Welsh, your thoughts?
I mean, I don't agree with all. I mean, I got to tell you, I don't.
You don't have to disagree. You can disagree with me all you want.
Everything that came out of your mouth, I don't agree with, because he is the best pitcher in baseball when he pitched. You had the foresight, or at least the cautiousness, to be like, any injury stuff is not my bag. This is not what I'm going to do. And that, I think, is the positive. I do agree. In the very, very, very early stages, I was looking at DeGrom and I was like, man, we're, top 3-4 SP. And I moved off of that into the important draft season, but I still had him at
4 SP in terms of talent. Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. I moved it back to like 7 or 8. But at the end of the day, it's all a calculated risk. His risk meter was just way higher. So drafting him at, the corner or the turn of like the second round, like that stunk. I couldn't even do that. As much as I like Jacob DeGrom, I couldn't do that. But I think the narrative of like why you jump in on Jacob DeGrom is sound. And I think the narrative of why he's a risk is sound. And sometimes those things meet, but it wasn't like, he had this huge, big strain that he was dealing with, and it was, maybe he has to have Tommy John. None of that was live. It was just like, he's at injury risk. He was being babied in spring early on. He looked really good. We got good reports outside of the babying. It's just a kind of failure across the board. I don't think it's a failure necessarily if there's like some analysts that's like, screw it, nothing matters. There's no risk.
When the expert consensus rankings gets to a point where enough people say, yes, this is a good investment for everyone at SP5 as a second or third round pick. Yeah. It's absurd. And it's nothing to do with the range. Like, at the end of the day, it has to do with what's been happening with this player. And I understand, like, I get it. No one sees it better than me. I watched him pitch in my living room for the last 8 years, and I know how great he is, and I know how much fun it is. But collectively, you had to give a bigger discount in drafts in order to make him a viable pick. There was no discount.
That is what I agree with. The thing that always bugged me is I always want to be the big Jacob DeGrom guy, because it's like, there's not a question that he's the best pitcher when he pitches. And that sometimes is the thing where someone's like, well, this could be, no, he's the best when he pitches. So that was bar none. But I always wanted more of a discount. And that's what's rough sometimes.
No, there was more. None.
But there's so much more fantasy analysts. There are more shows. There's so many more of us that the deals are so much less in spots where you'd wish rookies without any proven talent, you could get a little bit more. You can't. You would wish a guy like Jacob DeGrom on that bet, you'd get a little bit more. Look. You can't. And overall, pitching has been a really weird and dynamic kind of thing in fantasy that we're all battling
and I
with.
know the pitch
and
clock
I hate
is different
taking pitching
stuff.
Early. The pitching early stuff was my biggest problem.
Well, look, Black Book 101 this year was, fade away from these top pitchers, go with that secondary group, because the value was all in the secondary group. It was in the Zach Gallons of the world, the Kevin Gossmans of the world, all those guys. That's where the value was in pitching this year. It was so obvious not to do it. But again, when you have such a consensus that's out there in the space, it's everybody looking at the positive. And I'm a positive guy. I'm a positive Pete. I'm a positive pizza pia. Okay. But you too much on the positive, not enough on the, oh my God, some glaring negatives here that we've all got to be super concerned with. And follow the money. Follow the money at the end of the day. Because if you follow the money, the Texas Rangers, again, when the best pitcher when Shohei Ohtani goes out in free agency, do you think he's not going to have multiple offers from multiple teams?
But do you?
And I know you're going to roll your eyes about that, but Jacob DeGrom is that guy. He is the best pitcher in baseball. The Yankees don't call. The Dodgers don't call.
But you don't know that. Like, there's also
we do know that.
Did we get that from Boris that no other team called?
Do you really think in this day of age that that doesn't leak? Everything leaks. Somebody farts and it leaks out there in terms of Oh
do you know how many times we've heard these stories where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, 2 years ago, you didn't know this, but this guy was almost traded for this guy, but then this one person didn't pick up the phone and it never happened. Jacob DeGrom also has a price So there's 20, I bet you 22 teams were like, it's not worth it because we know the market price. The Mets put out their offer knowing it's not the market price, but they want to just put out what it is. I will refuse to believe that it was only the Texas Rangers that gave a call. There's probably lots of teams that checked in. They're like, hey, is that market price what it is? Oh, okay. Click. People didn't want to pay it. But at the end of the day, there's a whole thing about Jacob DeGrom.
Again,
that
no offers, Welsh.
The
if there was an offer, John Heyman, Morosi, Nightingale, all those guys, Ken Rosenthal and his bow tie would have been all over it. And I'm telling you, they weren't there because there's nothing else for these guys to do except report those offers or those conversations. There was not even a conversation report in the offseason. The number of pitchers that have had more than one Tommy John surgery, I don't know exactly that list of guys. But do you think at this point that Jacob DeGrom gets back from the second one here?
Yeah, he's going to come back. But I'm just like, I just don't like, I'm done. Like, and I can be like this, you guys know.
Yeah, you could be done.
Our chat.
Because he's not pitching this year and he's not pitching next year.
Yeah.
I think we all understand.
I hope I get back at the end of next year. Our group chat was hilarious yesterday with Wonky and you should have seen Pia just dancing. Cause then also you had the injury with Buxton. So it's the major crap.
I wasn't dancing. I don't dance for people's injuries.
Not dancing, but
I am, and I'm not dancing on anyone's grave here today. I'm saying the process. I was saying it in February. I said it in March. The process.
Sure
I feel like skipping Shannon today. This is undisputed. Yeah, I'm sure about that, bro. No, but like seriously, but again, it was mind blowing to me that I said, okay, here it is in February. It's SP5. That's going to change as people start to have their moments and start to evaluate. And then it never changed. And I kept looking up at it and I'm seeing all these guys. And I'm like, how do we get in a draft season? It's still the same.
Back with DeGrom. He'll be back.
Pull up from DeGrom, by the way. Hold on. We'll get the poll results here. Jacob DeGrom, if he never pitches again, is he a Hall of Famer? Mayor put this poll up. 74% said no. Do you agree with that?
I think I said this on CBS last night. I think it's almost like Terrell Davis, like what Terrell Davis did in a short period of time.
Have Super Bowl wins too.
That's like the point. He had Super Bowl wins, and like DeGrom was one of the. I think he would sneak in at this point. But listen, he's going to pitch again. He wants to pitch. He's got a 5-year deal. At this age, 36 is the new 31. These guys are pitching till 40. He's gonna pitch, but I'm done. And guess what? It's all good because the discount will be massive. We don't have to worry about this until 2025. I'm not interested next year. I don't care if he's going to maybe pitch next year. It's done. Cody,
I love you. You're trolling me in the chat. I get you. Would have been different with the Mets? No. It was insane with them. It doesn't matter where he went. Okay? The evaluation was bad. It was bad by the fantasy community at large going in. Now, I need another poll up there because I said I'd sing a Sarah McLachlan song, and Welsh is going to read off all the accolades of Jacob DeGrom. Like I don't weeks ago with the Boys to Men. So
he's injured.
It's either I think the In the Arms of the Angels is a little depressing. Like he's not dead. He's just having surgery. He's got $185 million. He's gonna come back hopefully maybe the end of next year, maybe September or August. Who knows if that happens? But he'll pitch again, like Welsh is saying. How he'll be, we don't know. So it's either that or I Will Remember You, which I think is kinder because I think
you should do I Will Remember You at the end. I won't even say anything. I don't want to step over you. I think you do. I will remember you.
Maybe you should sing it. You have like a nice Irish tenor voice.
Me. Yeah, we'll do that. You do that at the end.
Life past you.
Maybe we don't need to do it now. Like, let's talk about
not for the
memories.
Things.
Let's stop talking about Jacob.
Okay. All right, let's talk about
There's Alec Manoah dancing here.
Okay, let's talk about Elly De La Cruz. Now let's be positive. Yes. Elly De La Cruz. Oh, this was great. Elly De La Cruz ran so fast around third base, he almost caught the guy ahead of him. It was amazing last night. He walked twice. He had a double 112 miles an hour off the bat. He was great. Everything was great. Spoiler alert, I'm picking him for the home run call tonight. It was everything we wanted. We got Elly De La Cruz. The electricity in the ballpark was fantastic. They came back and won. Welsh, let's go. The Reds, I'm like adopting the Reds the rest of the season. I want it to be great for them. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm getting super overzealous. I can feel myself doing it. I can hear myself saying it. I'm like in the back of my head as I start talking about Elly. I understand some of the like too much of it. But listen, he's a crazy talent. I've likened this to maybe similar to Fernando Tatis Jr. in his debut. They had similar strikeout issues, better walk, better patience coming out of Elly De La Cruz. Walked his first at bat, 2 batted balls over 108. The guy can fly. He is all the talent and upside of O'Neal Cruz with less swing and miss and more ability to get on base. And I think at this point, even this day, and this might be the me being ridiculous, and that's fine. But at this moment, I think Elly, you can view Elly as a top 7 to 8 shortstop rest of season. And that's putting him and pinning him up. Like,
who would you rather rest of season? Bobby Witt Jr. or Elly De La Cruz?
Yeah, that's what I call it. The Bobby Witt line is like perfect. I think it's like Lindor, Bobby Witt, somewhere in there.
Witt is a quote speed guy with power, but the batting average hasn't been there. That's for sure. Lindor, I just wrote up Lindor in the Fantasy Pros featured pros that we're doing for the buy low, sell high every week. And Lindor is like struggling mightily against right-handed pitching this year. He's a 260 hitter for his career against right-handed pitching. That'll come around. He's still got 11 home runs. Like, I'd be buying Lindor. I think I'd rather have Lindor rest of season than Elly, but Bobby Witt, that's a good question. Like,
see, my only thing with Bobby Witt is like we know exactly who Bobby Witt is. And to be fair, if Elly's middle ground was what Bobby Witt is right now, we'd all be fine with it. If he was hitting like 240, double digits, there's 100 games left. Elly's rest of season projections, they only had him about 58 games, but every projection was like just under 10 homers, 10 RBI. So if you put that over 100 games, the 100 game projections, which is going to be the low baseline, is like 15-15 on Elly. I think the power is going to go up. If he's a 20-15 guy, you can see where the upside is. If the batting average is low, he is what Bobby Witt is. So my only argument here is like middle low Bobby Witt is maybe what median line Elly is going to be. So I might slightly pick Bobby Witt Jr., but either way, he lives in that world, and you're not having to pick. None of you guys are having to like be like, should I drop my Bobby Witt? I
kind of like the ballpark factor, and I kind of like the feel of what's going on with the energy of the Reds last night in that building. If they can kind of capitalize on that a little bit, that's special.
You want to know what happened?
CES is right around the corner too. Like, that guy's going to come up too. So
his buddy CES last night dropping a couple 110-mile-an-hour hits as well. He gets in there. It's going to be electric. And what I loved, they threw him right in hitting 4. I think he was like the first 20-year-old or whatever the hell it was, 21-year-old to hit 4 on his debut. That's huge. Matt McClain's hitting, Jonathan India's hitting, CES hitting behind him in Great America Ballpark. It is the Elly show. It is worthwhile. And my God, if he wasn't available, if like he was like open world stuff and fab and he hasn't been picked up, he's going to go for everything. Yes, you're going to dump your entire fab budget
look,
on
he's
him
been on multiple videos. I know he was on last week's too. Last week was the big salvo here on the channel where I did the video and I said, look, waiver wire Elly De La Cruz, this is it. Like, you got to do it now, because if you don't do it now, it's going to be gone. You have to do it this weekend. You have to be proactive. So hopefully you listened, and he did. Zach Eflin, can we talk about him? 6 2/3 scoreless at home this year. He struck out 9 guys last night. At home this year, he is 7-0 with a 1.85 ERA, 43 innings, 43 Ks, 4 walks, 1.96 ERA. We got to start making money on Eflin at home, because right now Eflin is killing it. And this is another guy. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. I remember every time the Rays go out there and they pluck one of these kind of Zach Eflin guys off, there's nobody better than the Rays doing this. The Rays organization plucks this guy off, says, oh, Zach Eflin, yeah, we know what to do with him. And they get the best out of these guys. And this is just another one in this long line of reclamation project guys. And we shouldn't be surprised, but we should have been more on this, I think, in terms of draft. What do you think about Eflin?
Yeah, no, I'm a big Eflin guy early in the year. I like this. The only thing I don't like is he is inconsistent. Yes, he had like 9 strikeouts, but he also had a game where he went 7 innings and didn't strike out a single batter. So the strikeout inconsistencies live there. But you go to players on great offensive supported teams, and you go to raise pitchers because they know how to push and develop these guys. Eflin is absolutely a value sitting out there.
Continuing on to Luis Ariz hitting 401 on the year. So, I mean, this to me, 2023, and maybe I'm just still off a high of yesterday. I don't know. But maybe I feel like 2023, the energy of baseball right now, and the NBA finals are happening and the NHL is happening. Football hasn't really, started its football thing yet. I feel like baseball is at this fever pitch right now where everyone's just super excited, and I'm excited to be here with you guys talking
I think
baseball.
a lot of people are going to not want to admit like the rule changes that baseball did. The
Oh, they're
change of
great.
the pace has moved things up. Also, the ability to get these younger guys up. This works. This is good. This is great for baseball. Yeah, I know it's going to come up with the whole Welsh array. I'm not like an Arise hater. My
Yeah, Horizon
problem
hater. He has limitations.
it's
That's
fantasy.
not a hot take.
He's an awesome. I own him in a league. He's an awesome real life player. That's points leagues. He's super fun, but he is maximum a 2-category player. So he can be the greatest at batting average, which by the way is the most expendable of the 5 categories in fantasy that people punt. That's a great category, but he is an absolute albatross on the other 3 categories. Right. So like, I feel everyone's making a big deal because he hits 400. He's awesome. Great real life player. I would want him on my team in real life, but I don't like valuing him over. I think I was thinking about this before the show. I didn't even know this would come up. I just know I've been a little chattery about Arise. A guy that hits 260 in a month, let's say 260 in a month with 5 homers, 6 stolen bases, and 25-25 run and RBI. That is exponentially more valuable than Arise that hits 425.
Yeah,
with
he's an amazing guy that offsets the low batting average on your team in Roto.
And
in points leagues, you're right, he's
homer
valuable.
and RBI. Yeah, he's just not good for Roto and head-to-head. Great for points. But I have been a little like yippy about him.
Okay, we're gonna go long today, folks. And by the way, right here on Undisputed with the Welsh and Shannon Sharp.
Is that the replacement? You might be the replacement.
That's right. That's right. They're gonna put me with Skip Bayless. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's $185 million for me to do that. I don't know. I might ask for more for that job.
That'd be the one.
What song should Joe sing today on the poll? I Will Remember You, winning at 60% right now. So I think that's more appropriate because I mean that's the image of Jacob DeGrom, I think, is that's now over. Whatever he is now after the second one, we'll see. You know, remember everyone laughed at me when I said make him a closer and limit the amount of innings. He just make him this electric guy out of the bullpen like they did with Smoltz, and maybe over time he won't have that same kind of issue of the innings building up on him, and he won't, the amount of stress on the arm. Everyone laughed at me. Guess what? When he comes back in 2 years, what if he's that guy? What if that's
actually? I hate to say this, but like, you know how he's like, I want to return at the back end of next year. It would be in that role. I think it would 100% be in that role. So you actually might get your wish. We got to do. I don't know how we're going to do this because I know the sizing and stuff. You got to get a picture of Jacob DeGrom before you sing. That's the clip. That's the clip we take from the show. We got to have DeGrom's got to be up while you're singing.
I like your dramatic reading of the accomplishments of Jacob DeGrom, which are many. The Cy Youngs, the ERA titles. I mean, all these things. It's just stunning. All right, let's get through the injuries. Eventually, Aaron Judge, we told you he was going to go on the IL. He went on the IL. We're still kind of waiting about the timetable, so it's a little tricky there. Anthony Rendon came back, so we'll see how long that lasts. Tario Estrada came back. Carlos Correa came back. So a lot of people coming back. Byron Buxton not coming back. He went on the 10-day IL. It's retroactive to June 3rd with a rib contusion. Lourdes Gurriel was held out of the lineup for a second straight night, so his groin was tight. Welsh went over there, tried to do the Mr. Miyagi and rub it up for him a little bit. We'll see if that works. Andres Munoz activated too, so beautiful times here. Let's get to the 3 up and 3 down. Kevin Gausman, 13 strikeouts, unbelievable. Told you, American League leader in strikeouts. Nobody seems to care except me. I put money on him on Sunday for Cy Young at plus 800. It's still at plus 800. I think you should. I think it's a good investment. Put $50 on that bad boy and then wait and watch. And if it goes down to 400, put another $50 on it. I'm starting to get a feeling it's Gausman's year. Shohei Ohtani, solo homer, walked twice. Pete Alonso is feeling 22. He had his 22nd home run. I got a Taylor Swift reference in there. 3 down. Louis Varland, 6 innings, 7 earned, 4 walks, 5 Ks. His ERA is almost 4.5. Zach Greinke, 1-6 with a 4.59 ERA now, 5 earned runs in 4 1/3. And Mitch Keller, who we faded yesterday. Again, we were, talking about a zone. I feel like Michael Jordan in the playoffs yesterday, just in a zone, just tunnel vision. 5 earned runs, 5 1/3 innings, 1 K. Not good for him in 1 homer, 3.6 ERA run the season, but he's given up 15 earned runs in his last 3 games. Is the Mitch Keller ride over?
No. The last 3 games have been bad, but I think there's actually a lot of underlining stuff that are still in his favor. Strikeouts are still there. I think this is a bad run. I would argue that this might be a nice little buy opportunity on Mitch Keller because he could probably be had for very, very little after that blow up. I would go do that.
All right.
Goodbye.
You know what else you should go do? You should play some prize picks because prize picks is fun. Last night, we picked some good prizes. So use that promo code leading off. Go to prizepicks.com, download the PrizePicks app. And when you use the promo code leading off, you get 100% deposit match up to $100. You put the $100 in, you make some prize picks, you make more money. That's what you're here for. You're here with all this knowledge, watching the show, listening to the show every day. We know you're here. Go make some money on it. For me, I've got Max Scherzer at 6 strikeouts over. He's been very good the last 2 starts, 8 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts. Elly De La Cruz all in. Let's go. 8.5 over on the hitter fantasy score. Bo Bichette over against Houston's pitching. 8.5 hitter fantasy score. What do you have, Welsh, for the people on the prize picks?
Yeah, they are just like, they're not easing you into Elly De La Cruz. 8.5 is a big number on that platform. Those are elite number hitters, but he's going up against Noah Syndergaard. So that's why I think that makes a lot of sense here. On the prize picks today, I'm going to go with Logan Webb strikeouts over 5. Give me Pablo Lopez under pitching fantasy points, 35.5, and Bryce Harper fantasy score 8 over. We didn't get the haters sandwich yesterday because Ramon Laureano didn't play.
So funny.
We got the Kirilloff under.
The hater sandwich was so funny yesterday.
We got the Elder over, and just Laureano didn't play. So the Mitch Keller free square didn't do anything. So if you guys did anything else, maybe you could have cashed it. So hopefully today we can get some prize picks.
All right. On the betting side today, I'm going under on the 8.5 Zach Wheeler strikeouts. Again, whenever I see 8.5, I'm going under most days. I know it's Detroit. I'm still going under. Pablo Lopez, 6.5 strikeouts. I'm going under. He has been rough, and Tampa doesn't strike out. To me, getting even money on this, run for the even money on this, okay? Pablo, under. Wheeler, under. Scherzer, over 5.5. You can get that. Now, it's got a lot of juice, so here's what you do. You take the 6.5 instead, because you get plus money on that, plus 118. You take the Scherzer over at 6.5, because, again, 8 strikeouts, 9. I don't care if it's the Braves. It's Max Scherzer. He's getting back to being Max Scherzer. You go take the White Sox again at plus 110 on the money line, and you do that as well, because the Yankees without Aaron Judge is not a good lineup. You got the plus 110, the plus 118 from Scherzer, and then San Fran is minus 200, heavy juice. Logan Webb on the mound against a terrible Rockies team. I don't care if it's in Colorado. You're going to get plus 580 on that. Go make that parlay. That's the one. Or just bet the White Sox at plus 130. Again, no Judge. That's what I'm doing. Welsh, what are you doing tonight on the betting side?
All right. Like I said, 3-0 yesterday. Let's try to get back to it. I'm going to keep with those Logan Webb numbers. Logan Webb, the Colorado Rockies have struck out like 12 times over the last 3 games on average. So I want to play against that. You talked about Logan Webb. I have him in prize picks. Well, I actually didn't check at the updated number, so the juice might be a little bit less. But last night it was plus 115 on Logan Webb strikeouts, 5.5 over. So I'm going to take that. He's hit that over his last 3 games. I'm going to take Philly run line whole game, 1.5 over Detroit. And I'm going to take the Cincinnati Reds team total 2.5. It's minus 105. So 2.5 in the first 5, by the way. That is me playing against Noah Syndergaard, who has given up 3 like the whole year, every single time through 5 innings. Elly De La Cruz, of course. So 2.5 runs, team total, 2.5 runs through the first 5 innings. That is almost even money, minus 105 for the Reds. And again, Philly run line and Logan Webb strikeouts. Those are my 3 big bets for today.
Tim has a great question. Is there a football version of leading off? Not technically, but
there should be.
Come betting pros time, there basically will be. I'll be hosting that 5 days a week. We're going to be on live on Betting Pros, probably around the same time come football season, okay? And that is going to be basically the same version. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk betting. We're going to talk, all that stuff in there. So just be in there. If you haven't already, subscribe to Betting Pros on the YouTube side. And we're going to have the same conversations. We're going to have, we're going to call them Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. We got to get a better name for everybody. But also, fun thing here from our friend Razor, who calls all the home runs. He just bought a Gossman So Rare card over the weekend. Well done. Not bad. That's a good investment. And you should be investing in So Rare as well, because it's super fun. Again, fantasypros.com/collect. It's free. It's cards. It's fantasy. You buy, you scout, you sell, you do all that fun stuff, and you compete. And you can compete against the other Peanuts and Cracker Jacks as well, because they've got the leading off league, fantasypros.com/leading off. So we want you to be a part of all of that fun with So Rare, because So Rare MLB is fun, and we're fun, and you're fun. Let's get to the DFS today. Max Scherzer 9.6, check. If you want to have some differential, go to John Gray, 9.5. Check. If you want to pay up at pitching, you can go to Logan Webb, but I don't love it for 11K. I think I'd rather stick with Gray and Scherzer. White Sox, Toronto, Mets, San Fran, Texas. Those are the places you're looking for some offense today. Jordan Walker, 2.7. Elly De La Cruz, 2.8. Tim Anderson, 2.7.
Dude,
Welsh, it is
Ellie's going to
time.
be played so much. I'm sorry. I mean,
he's going to be 90% rostered, and he should be.
I would love to play him in like single showdowns or like low, 50-50s or something on DFS, but it is going to be wild, his plays today, because that is a very good price.
Hey, look at Razor, up to 23 bombs. Unbelievable. Remember, the winner's getting a Corbin Carroll autographed helmet, personalized from Corbin Carroll. The Welsh still on the board with 10. I got to be in double digits now because I've been on a hot streak last couple of days.
You got to be like 10 or 11. I'm at 18.
I'm like 10.
I'm the bottom of the board here.
I'm still useless, but I'm better. I'm starting to pull out of it. Welsh, I said I'm going Elly De La Cruz tonight, and I've even got money on it. Let's go. Where are you going for your home run call today?
By the way,
I don't know songs and dances here on the show.
I don't know if anyone can do this. I feel like we're pacing out bigger than we were last year, because wasn't the number like 48 or 51 or something like that? I kind of actually think we might be a higher pace this year, because this is like what, a third of the way, and we're already in the 20. So good job on everybody else.
FantasyPros.com/chat. Join the Discord. Go premium. Make home run calls. That's what you do. So
who do you have? I did this once before. It didn't work, but I'm playing against Patrick Corbin. I'm going to go with Christian Walker. Christian Walker beat up on lefties, big homers. I think this is a perfect recipe for Christian Walker to get re-going. There were a couple guys on the board that, honestly, Ohtani looked a little good, but I'm going to re-going here. It's a Welshism.
There's a Welshism.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Christian Walker tonight for my home run call.
Oh, yeah. Razor, I hope you get that helmet. I'm rooting for you, buddy. By the way, look at Bizarre Just throwing shade at me. Tim, Joe usually bounces on us here in August for football. Yes, that's my job. Like, that's literally, I came here to do a football show, and then they've also given me the reins to Betting Pros, and I said, hey, we should also do a baseball show. So the reason we have leading off is because of this bald-headed moron. So that's why we're here every day. So I'm sorry I have to bounce in August, but my brain can only handle so much. I'm sorry. Only so much I can do. But Welsh will be here, and we're trying to see if we can get baseball all year round here too. That's what we're working on. So it doesn't go away ever on you. So that's what really we're. And shout out to the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks too, because we're up year over year in watches and listen. It's great. And it's all because of you out there. And you have other choices. You come here, you listen to Leading Off, and I don't know, it's great. I love you guys, and I'm excited that we get to do this every day. So Welsh, without further ado, I think we're at the end here, which means it's song time. So do you have a good list of accomplishments? Because as I'm reading the lyrics for this song, it's very applicable. Very applicable, I
think I do. Hold on. This might be the thing right here.
Yes.
I have
this is what Wikipedia was made for, I feel like.
Yeah, and I can space this out and everything like that.
All right, I'm gonna give you like a stanza and a chorus. And I think that'll do. So
should I come in after your first run?
You can come in whenever you want. So I promise
the entire list.
I promised whenever he would. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I promised on the show that if Jacob DeGrom did have Tommy John surgery and wasn't going to pitch the rest of the season, I would sing a sad Sarah McLachlan song, because I'm sad about it. You're sad about it. Welsh is sad about it.
Yeah, you're really sad about it. Joe's really sad about it.
I am sad about it. I'm not happy about this. So I'm going to sing I Will Remember You while Welsh rattles off some of the incredible accomplishments of Jacob DeGrom's career. And away we go. So afraid to love you, more afraid to lose, clinging to the past that doesn't let me choose. Once there was the darkness, but now endless night. You gave me everything you had. Oh, you gave me life. Come on, Welsh. Where's the accomplishment?
I know. It's coming.
I will remember
2014
you.
Player of the Week. 2014 Rookie of the Month award winner in July and September.
Me?
Outstanding Rookie of the Year in 2014.
Don't let your light
2017 MLB Player of the Week, Cy Young Award winner, 2018 Player's Choice Outstanding Pitcher of the Year Award in 2018, a 2019 Cy Young Award winner, starting pitcher of the year in 2019, 20, and more, even more, pitcher of the month awards for Mr. Jacob DeGrom. Is he a Hall of Famer with 1,600 strikeouts, 84 wins?
No.
Under one whip? That doesn't sound like the thing.
This was good. I feel
I need a little bit more. I will remember.
This was therapeutic though, I think. Like it's sad. I'm sad for Jacob DeGrom. I'm sad for the fantasy community at large. They put him at SP5. And hopefully now we'll all learn to do better. That's what we're going to try to do. So that'll do it for us. We'll be back again tomorrow to do it all again for Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. That'll do it for us on leading off. We'll see you next time, kids.
Thank you for all the hair comments.
Yeah, he looks great. See you later, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Enjoy Elly De La Cruz Part 2.
You're so sad. He's so sad. Look, everybody.